All right, guys, thank you so much for hopping on tonight. We are going to be chatting here with Hannah today, and she's going to be sharing with us how to ignite that passion and to not let go and to not give up on your why. So I'm just going to share our announcements for the month. We have so many people that are in Success Club this month and a ton of people that are on their way. So I wanted to show my screen here. Can you guys see all that? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, awesome. So crazy awesome month, and it's awesome because it's Team Cup month. So we're getting extra prizes this month for hitting Success Club. So Kevin and Hannah together are freaking rocking out. They're ridiculously high numbers, which is amazing. So congrats, Hannah and Diamond Kevin. Janine is a brand new coach, and she's rocking 14 Success Club points. She's killing the game right now and adding all kinds of new coaches. Her goal is Diamond very soon, which is amazing because she literally just signed up. And then Jen at Success Club, yay, Success Club 6, Laura at 8, Danielle at 6, all these, like, so many new faces on the board, which is really, really exciting that these are new coaches and new to Success Club altogether. So Kristen, Danielle and Laura, and then on their way. We still have a few more days left of February. Actually, we have an extra day in February this year, so make sure that you guys are hitting Success Club. We've got Sabrina, Jody, Isabel, Dana, and Stephanie on their way, so we have a few more days to hit that. Let's make sure that we do everything we can to hit Success Club for Team Cup, and just make sure that you're in the club for the month. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Hannah unless anybody has anything else before we start. No? All right, I am going to mute myself, and please don't mind me eating over here while Hannah is talking because I'm kind of late to dinner tonight.
Okay, had to unmute myself. Hello, so glad you guys are joining us, and if you're catching the recording, that is great too. So I really wanted to talk tonight about what is your passion, what is your drive, and what is your why. So let's start out by writing in the comments what your passion or your why is. So let's get that going, and we'll start seeing that. And the reason for that is because having a passion and a why is what's going to drive you to getting to the next level, to hitting Success Club, to hitting a certain rank. Because if you don't have a passion or a why are you going to work hard and do it? Like, if you're comfortable and you're not leveling up because you don't have that passion or that drive, you're not going to get to where you want to be. So that's just like super important to really dive into. And as the comments start coming, I will read those. Let me move this out of the way. So what are you giving yourself excuses? Are you giving yourself all these excuses of why you're not hitting Success Club or why you haven't gotten to a rank? Is that you? Because excuses, if you're giving yourself an excuse, okay, we've got some coming in. If you give yourself excuses, you're telling yourself is ruining yourself. It will ruin you. Are you the yeah, but person? Yeah, she is a successful coach, but she doesn't have a lot of kids like I do. Yeah, she's successful, but she doesn't work a full-time job. Yeah, she's successful, but she has a huge transformation story. Yeah, she's successful, but she has a lot of support with her family. You guys, those are excuses. There are so many successful coaches out there, and we all have different stories. We all start out as a brand new coach, not knowing what the heck we're doing. We start with 0 coaches, but it's those that work hard and stay consistent and stay with their passion and don't let anything get in the way of their main goals. So you can throw excuses, but the bottom line is some of the most successful coaches are the ones that have all those things or something in there. They have a struggle, divorce, death in the family or a friend or something like that, depression. A lot of successful coaches have that, but it's because they have a passion and a drive, and there's no plan B for them. They're going in with this because there's nothing else. They have to get to a certain point so that they can be successful, so that, you know, whatever they're going through, they don't have to go through that anymore. If they have depression, workouts, exercise, diving into their business is going to help them. If they're going through a divorce and a single mom needs money, she's going to work her butt off to get to a certain level that she can make income for her family. So don't let your excuses get in the way of being a successful coach. If you're working full-time, that's great, but there's so many coaches that were working full-time or are working full-time, but now are able to surpass what they were making or are making in their full-time job. So keep that in mind when you give yourself an excuse that we all are busy. We all have things going on in our lives, but are you going to push past that and not let that get in your way? So, and that can go back on your health and fitness too. So many people have excuses of why they're not doing their workouts or why they're not going to get their groceries and stuff like that. So, you know, keep that in mind if you ever struggle with your health and fitness. Push those excuses away. And, you know, if you started this business and you thought, you know what, I'll give it a month or two and see how it goes. No, that doesn't work that way. You have to give this business a good year, at the least, if not 2 years. And you have to work your butt off. That's just what it is. And when I say that, I don't mean it's like hard physical work. It's just staying consistent and doing the things you need to do to level up and get to those certain rank or whatever your goals are. And what you're doing today matters. So write this down because this is so important. What you're doing today matters. Don't think that sending out invites is a waste of time, or, you know, I sent out 10 and nobody's replied back to me. That's okay. You're going to have that. You should be having, and I've talked about this before, but you should be having continuous conversations every single day. I tell my coaches, my new coaches, send out 3 invites a day. 3 invites is nothing, but that's getting them started. And if they can't do it every day, wait till Saturday or Sunday and send out 20. But I definitely suggest doing it every day because it takes a little while for people to see it and then reply back and yada, yada, yada. And if you're wanting to hit a goal of Success Club, you need to be doubling it. So I was just watching a training lately, and Emily Favre, she was saying that her goal, whatever her goal was, she doubled it. And that's how she became super successful. So if I'm saying send out 3 invites a day, send out 6, send out 10. And don't look at it as, and Jody was talking about this last week, don't go at it as like, I have to send out my invites today. I don't want to do it. No, that is not the way to approach it and to look at it. You really, really, really need to look at this as a blessing. Has Beachbody blessed your life in some way? Has it been with your health and fitness? Has it been something with coaching? If you're here, it probably has blessed you in some way. So when you're inviting, you are giving them that blessing that Beachbody has given to you and to so many others. When I am talking to people, I see their future. They're telling me like their goals and what they're struggling with and how they want their life changed. And so I see for them what their future could look like if they apply and they work hard and stay consistent, because we're proof that this works. I mean, I stayed consistent, lost the weight, did the Beachbody challenge, all that kind of stuff. And it's all because I stayed consistent And I'll read through the comments. They distract me. So I stayed consistent with it, and you know, that is why, like, people need to realize that too, is you're sharing that blessing with them. Look at it as, what 3 people need this blessing? Not, oh, I have to write invites. That is going to mess up your whole mindset. Definitely look at it as, who can I find that needs this blessing? And that's going to change your mindset from your invites, and it will come through. People can, I mean, I know it's all on the computer and all that, but people know. People can not see it, but like feel that even through a message. So don't fake that. Be true to that, and have that passion and drive, and show that through your messages. So, you know, you're sending out messages and people aren't responding back to you, or people are acting interested, but then they're not signing up, you know, that can be discouraging, but don't let that discourage you. That's like the number one thing. Like, never, never, never let somebody else's opinions or what they're doing affect your vision. Never. Don't let any outside source get into your mind and then derail you from what you are working towards. Okay? Like, this is your business, your future, your legacy. So people saying no or not replying back, there's so many people in the world that we can be talking to. So bless and release that and keep going, and follow up. So the day you plant your seeds is not the day you eat your fruit, right? Sometimes we get lucky and there might be somebody that's like, oh yeah, that sounds good, sign me up. But most of the time it's not that way. I was listening to a training and they were saying that it's like usually 7 times, and it's not just Beachbody, this is like anything. Like, you got a quote for your carpets and you know, you forgot about it, you've been busy with other things. It takes about 7 follow-ups before somebody commits. 7. So if you message somebody and they don't reply back, or you've been talking and you know this and that, and then you follow up maybe a couple weeks later or whatever, and then you're like, well, they just didn't get back to me. That's only 1 follow-up. You should be following up 7 times at least, if not more, until they tell you no. I always tell this to my new coaches too, unless they say flat out like, no, don't message me again. Like, then that's, you know, don't message them. I mean, if they're still watching your stories and stuff like that, you can talk to them in that way. But if they're not saying no, follow up with them. I mean, I said no to coaching so many times. I did not want to be a coach. Like, I kept hearing, you'd be such a great coach. And I'm like, no. And then when I was talking to Heather about coaching, like, she was so shocked I wasn't a coach. And she was like, girl, you need to pray about that. And I'm so glad I did. But had I just, you know, somebody heard me say no and then just never tell me, or if Heather never was like, girl, you need to be a coach, like, you need to pray about this, who knows if I would be a coach. And look at how much this has blessed my life, and then all the people that are coming underneath me. So just because somebody says no or not at this time does not mean that that is a for sure no. Heather said no, and look at her now. Jody said no, and look at her now. So, you know, so many people say no, but even when somebody's first signing up, I had 3 coaches tell me that, you know, I'm not really interested in coaching, but I just want the discount, but I'm too busy to coach. Or one was like, I'm just not interested at all, I just want the discount. Those 3 coaches ended up becoming emeralds. Yeah. So Janine, she told me she didn't want to coach, that when she was first signing up, she just wanted the discount, and she didn't have time. And I was like, okay, you know, no problem. But then as they're in the challenge group and I'm really working with them and helping them get results, they're putting in the work, they're staying consistent, they're getting the results, they then want to share that with people. And all of a sudden, boom, Janine signs up 7 people in 1 week. She was the one that told me she was too busy. Okay, so just because somebody says no or gives you like something to why they can't, stay with it, because you never know what's going to come from that. So just keep that in mind when you're sending out these invites and people aren't replying back to you. Don't let it discourage you, because as soon as you let that discouragement in, it's going to start that ripple effect of you not becoming successful. And, you know, it's kind of like I look at the business as if I were to have like an actual storefront business. So back in I want to say 2015, I really, really, really wanted to franchise a business, Nothing Bundt Cake. If you never heard about it, they've got really great cakes. The furthest one from our town was like an hour and a half, and I'd make my husband go drive and get me cake. I'm really glad I didn't franchise that. Okay. I'm really glad. Total 180 from that to this. But the franchise fee was $500,000. That is just the franchise fee. Then I have to get a building, then I have to get employees, and then I have to get supplies. That is so expensive. We can start our business for $160. That's insane. $160 or almost $750,000 for this Nothing Bundt Cake. Not just that, but then think of all the work I would have to put into that business. I would be showing up every day. I would be working from when I wake up to when I would go to bed. I would be putting in all of this work. And, you know, if things went wrong, would I just, okay, I'm done closing up the shop because Sally didn't come into work. I'm done. Sally's not replying back to my messages. I'm done. I don't feel like working today. I'm in a bad funk. I'm going to put closed on the door. No. So why do we treat our business of coaching that way? This is a business of where we put an investment in $160, and that's for our own health and fitness. Like, that is our own thing. And then we get Shakeology, which is benefiting our life as well, or whatever other product you're getting. So, you know, make sure you think of that when you feel like you don't want to work. Think, if you had a franchise business, would you treat it that way? Or would you be like, nope, I'm showing up today. Yes, I'm putting in a lot of work into my business. I'm working from when I wake up to when I go to bed, just like I would have if I opened up a Nothing Bundt Cake. And every single day, even though if, you know, I'm talking to so many people, and maybe out of 100 people, only 10 reply back, that's okay. I will follow up with those other people, those other 90, in the next couple weeks, in the next month. So remember that you're planting the seeds. Don't get discouraged. And another thing is, what your hustle for today is what it will be for in 3 to 5 years. So your hustle for today for your coaching business will show the fruits of your labor in 3 to 5 years. Now, that might sound crazy to you, but we can't wrap our heads around that, because we are instant gratification, right? Like, even with our health and fitness, I get people that come in and they want to do it for 2 weeks and they want to lose 25 pounds. That's just not how it works. You have to do it month by month by month, year by year. That's why I said, if you're only thinking I'm going to do this a couple months and see how it goes, you're not going to be where you want to be in a couple months. That's why I said at least a year. What I'm experiencing now is almost a year, or pretty much a year in. And had I given up the first couple months, yeah, it was hard and all that, but I wouldn't be where I am now. I look at Heather too. You know, she had, and I've talked about this before, she had something happen in her business where she was working for a really hard goal and it didn't go through. She fell apart and she almost quit, you guys. We wouldn't be here right now had she quit, but she kept showing up and she decided, I'm going to keep going. And then I want to say it was 4 months later, she was 2-star. So don't let something derail you in your business, like sending out invites or coach quits or somebody's not active, this and that. Just keep going, keep working hard, because what you're putting into it, you will get back. So, you know, when I look at top coaches, you know, we all start out, I said this before, we all start out the same, 0 coaches, yada, yada. But they have been doing this in our top coaches 4 years in. 4 years in. So don't expect to be a top. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are coaches. What's her name? Kelsey Hill. I think I said that right. Yeah. I mean, she's rock star. 1 year she became, or I think it's like technically her 2nd year. She's now the number 10 coach in the network. But if you look at all the other coaches, it took them about 3 to 4 years. So remember that as well. It takes time. It takes work. I always tell this to my new coaches, consistency and patience. Now, patience doesn't mean send out some invites and sit back and wait for people to come, or post a post and wait for people to like message you that they want this. You have to be persistent and getting people and getting those conversations in. Let's see. So I really, really love this. Whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, either way, you're right. So if you believe that this business is hard, if you believe that it's going to take a year to get to diamond, if you believe that nobody wants to join your team, you're right. You are all those things. But if you believe that there are a lot of people out there that need this, if you believe that people will connect to you and need you, if you believe that you can get to diamond in 4 weeks, that you can hit Success Club for 12 consistent months, or that you're an elite coach, guess what? You are, and you will be. So your drive and passion has to be there. You cannot let anything get in the way. You have to think, and we always talk about mindset, but I mean, that's just what it is. Your focus has to be clear, and you have to believe the right way. So like Kristen, she's on here right now. I got on a one-on-one call with her right before team call on Thursday. And I was like, girl, because she's doing all the things. She's in her stories. She's posting. I'm like, girl, I'm giving you 2 goals, and I want you to hit this by next Wednesday. I want you to get 4 more Success Club points. I want you to be Emerald by Wednesday night. Now, some might think that's crazy. Like, that's only, 6 days. Kristen messaged me last night at 10:30 p.m. and she was like, I did it. I became Emerald and I hit Success Club 5. And I was like, yes. Now, would she have gotten that had I not pushed her and given her that drive? I don't know. But what I do know is that she did it because she had in her mind that she was going to do it. So if you believe you can, you're going to do it. Every single goal I have hit has literally been within the deadline because I'm driven and I have those goals and that passion. So if you're comfortable and you're just kind of like, I'm kind of sort of going to do it, you're kind of sort of going to get the results. That's just how it is. If you're kind of sort of, maybe if I hit Success Club this month, cool, but if not, it's cool too. No, like it should be your main goal to hit Success Club, because that means you're helping people. That's what we're here for. We're to help people. So if you're hitting Success Club, you've helped at least 3 people. That is not a lot of people, but that is so important. That is 3 people you're adding into your challenge group. That's 3 people that that you have helped get started and you have hit Success Club. If you have not hit Emerald, that should be your number 1 goal. You should be Emerald. If you have been doing this for more than a month, you should be Emerald. There is no excuse to why you can't be. If you have a spouse, number 1, they should be underneath you. I actually just watched a video of why a spouse should be underneath you. I've always heard like a spouse needs to be underneath you, but I never really knew why. I mean, I know why, but I just mean like, I never really saw it like on a chart. And when it was explained, I was like, everybody has to have their spouse underneath them. It's just benefits you so much more. And then the second person, it can be your mom, your sister, your brother. If you look at the top coaches, Lindsay Matway, she had her husband and her brother. Neither one planned on coaching, but that's who she had. Heather had her husband, her mom. I had my husband, my mom. My new coach, Sabrina, she's not married. She doesn't have a boyfriend. That's fine. She got her 2 parents, her mom and her dad. There are other people that get their best friend, whatever. There's no excuse to why you can't be Emerald. Don't give yourself that excuse of why you're not Emerald. That should be number 1, non-negotiable, Emerald. And then the next goal, Diamond. So if you are sending out those invites, you can get to diamond. And don't think that diamond is a year away or 6 months away. Look at Janine, who told me she was too busy. She just started a brand new business with her husband. It doesn't have to do with anything health and fitness or anything. They started a brand new business. So she is busy. She has 2 little kids, and she signed up 6 coaches and another challenger in a week and a half. So there's no excuse to why you can't be diamond. So look at it and set the goal. So by next week on team call, if you are not emerald, I want you to be emerald. I'm going to push you. If you have not hit Success Club this month, I want you to hit Success Club. We have 2 more days left of it. If you're on Team Cup, you should be pushing harder. You do not want to let your team down. Kristen's on my Team Cup. That's why I pushed her. I said, girl, let's go. I want that bag. But no, seriously. And she did it. So 2 days, more than enough time to get 5 points. You can do it. You can get 10 points in 2 days. Don't think, yes, Hannah and her swag. Don't think that it's not obtainable. If you think that way, it won't be obtainable. But think right now, I'm going to push myself. I'm going to do it. I'm going to hit Success Club by the 29th on Saturday. We are blessed with an extra day, so let's do it. And then, so I have been really focusing on YouTube videos. I've been telling my new coaches, I want you to go on YouTube and whatever you're trying to get to, how to become an emerald in 24 hours, how to strategize diamond. All of my new coaches, they can stay in my challenge group for the first month, but then I want them in their own challenge group to push them to get more challengers, this and that. So I'm like, watch a video on how to rock out your challenge group. That's what I did. I was scared to death to run my own challenge group outside of Heather's. But it was the best thing I did for my business. And what I did, even though I had been in challenge groups for 2 years, I YouTubed how to have a rocking challenge group. And I implemented that into my challenge group, and my challenge group is rocking. That's why I'm having these emerald coaches and all of that, and people killing it because they're getting results and then wanting to share that. So even in one of the videos I was watching a coach who became a 2-star diamond coach in 6 months. And she said in her training that she sat down and just soaked everything in. She was a sponge. She watched every training on YouTube. There are so many trainings on YouTube for literally anything you can think of in the Beachbody coaching world that these top coaches have put together, and it's available for us for free. We don't even have to be on their team, and they got it on there. So I want to challenge you guys. I have been watching YouTube videos, and I'm telling you, they have been changing my life. They are teaching me what I need to do and how to do this and all that kind of stuff. So I want to challenge you guys to watch a YouTube training if you can every day. Now they're like, some of them are like 10 minutes long, some are 30 minutes long. I haven't watched one that is over 40 minutes long. Another great one I was watching, I wanted to do like my new coach call. I felt like I really didn't know what to do when I was having these new coach calls. So I watched people's new coach calls and I implemented that into my new coach calls. And I feel like that is really what's helping them get to Emerald, because I have that information and giving it to them. So whatever you're needing help with, YouTube it. There's so many good things. And actually, I remember on a team call, and this is actually why I started doing that, or it wasn't a team call. I think it was a morning wake up call. Raina Odell, she was talking about when she became a coach, and she's a super successful coach. She's been a top 10, I want to say 1 or 2 years, and I think she's been elite for the past 5 years. She said that when she first started, she sat on the couch after she put her kids to bed, and her kids were really little back then. She got her computer out, put her headphones in, and she soaked everything in. She watched video after video after video and just got all this information and then implemented it, and boom, she skyrocketed and she's killing it. She's been killing it. So that's actually where I got that. And then I started thinking, well, that makes sense. So I started doing that, and I'm telling you guys, it has been key for me. It gets my mind right. It helps me know exactly what I need to do, because we come into this not knowing anything, but those resources are available to us, as well as Team Call. That's why it's so important to be on here, and I'm so glad you guys are on here. And I think that's about it. That's kind of all I wanted to talk about. Just basically making sure that you have that passion, that drive. Don't forget it and stay with it. Like, you have to keep on with it. I wanted to look and see what everybody's things are. Oh, I don't know how to go up. Oh, there we go. My why is to be more present with my son. Yes, girl. So, you know, right now we are working so hard, right? Like, I know you are too. We are boom, boom, boom. Like, you know, and sometimes I'm like, oh, torn between, like, my family went out to dinner tonight, but I came home to decompress and be on this call. But I know that in year 3, year 4, year 5, I'll be able to have more time. Just like I said, when we franchise, if I were to franchise that business, probably 5 years of my life would have lived and breathed that franchise. Like, I would have been so consumed and busy with that. But then probably by year 6, I could kind of step away and let managers work it and stuff like that. That's the same thing with our business. Year 1, year 2, it's going to be crazy. And this is why I know that, yes, I'm working hard. Yes, there's things that are being put to the side and this and that. But I know that come year 3, year 4, I will have a set legacy. It doesn't mean I won't be working, but I won't be working as hard as I am right now. When we first start out, just because I've watched so many things about this, I know that I will be getting that residual income, and I won't have to be, you know, every morning to when I wake up to when I go to bed. So yeah, you will be more present with your son. My why is total and complete freedom for my family. I no longer want to be held down by a job. Yeah, same thing. It's going to be that way. And it is. I mean, you get to homeschool your kids. Like, that's so amazing that you get to do that because of the coaching opportunity.
I just want to retire Paul so we can no longer have to like live where his job is. So that's the next goal.
I know. And that's so, you know, I was telling you, my mother-in-law was like, Hannah, is it worth it? You're working yourself to death. But yes, it is worth it. And I told her, I was like, 100% it's worth it, because I know what I'm doing now is setting us up for the next, you know, like in 5 years from now. And I told her, I was like, your son hasn't worked a Saturday in months. Because I'm paying the mortgage and I'm paying the bills with my coaching money, and I still get to be home. I still can drive my kids to school. I'm here for things. So 100% it's worth it. You know, is things stressful? Is it easy peasy? No, but it's worth it. It is 100% worth it. To be my best self for me, my husband, and our future children, to have adventures with my husband and allow him to stay retired forever. So yeah, same thing. I know. And it's so funny because my husband, I think when he thought I was starting this, well, first I started coaching just because I wanted to help people. I didn't know how much coaches made. I didn't care about the money. Like, you know, I just wanted to help people. Well, now, like, I'm paying bills. So it's super important to me now that I'm able to supplement the income, and now my husband doesn't have to work as much. And he was bragging. No, he was telling his guys at work, he was like, I'm so proud of my wife. Like, she's making like legit money, like legit. I think he thought it was cute when I was first doing it. Like, oh, that's cute, honey. And now he's like, dang, girl. I remember somebody said one time, like, would you ever retire Kevin? I was like, I don't know. Like, he's worked really hard to get where he is. But, you know, now he doesn't work Saturdays. He doesn't work overtime hardly ever. I mean, the past month, he's been home, and we're able to be a family, and it feels really good because, like, he can give Lily a bath and I can work. And yes, I'm working at that time, but at the same time, again, I know that I'm doing this now to set us up for the future. So, you know, that is going to be something that you can do if you put in your hard work and stay consistent. My why is to be a positive role model for my daughter and show her women can do anything. Yes, I love it. You know, my daughter all the time, she's so cute. And I love that she sees me, number one, putting my health and fitness first. When I became a finalist in the Beachbody Challenge, I'll never forget when I walked in and after I got the call and I walked in, I was like, I made it. And she jumped off the couch and gave me the biggest hug. I'm gonna get emotional. And she was so proud of me. And I lived so long feeling like such a horrible wife and mom. And that was like the proudest my family has ever been. And it was because I stayed consistent and because I stayed, you know, with my goals that I got there. It wasn't about the money of winning the Beachbody Challenge. It was that my family was proud of me. And I was proud of me that I could, you know, give this to them. And so same thing with coaching. I'm staying consistent and I'm staying on top of things. And even though some days I don't want to show up and I'm tired or I'm in a bad mood, I still do because I know that they're going to see me on stage as an elite coach and they're going to be like, I'm so proud of her. My husband's telling people how proud he is of me. Like that feels so good. And so, you know, you will 100% be a role model to your daughter and you already are. And the more you work towards this, she'll see how amazing you are and how great you're doing in your business and with your health and fitness. I mean, girl, you're already rocking it, Jennifer. Like, I love seeing your posts and your videos. My why is my own transformation, my family's financial well-being. Kristen, yes, you are. I'm so proud of you. You are getting in your stories every single day. You're doing what you need to do for your health and fitness. You're getting results. And then you're sharing that now with other people, which is going to benefit your family's financial well-being. So you are well on your way. You now hit Emerald, so you're going to get customer leads and then follow up with them so that you can get them in your challenge group and all that good stuff. So you are well on your way, girlfriend. Amy, myself to be happy and help others so they can see their full potential. Absolutely. Like, girl, yes, I love that. And they will. And the more you share that and you do, but the more you share that, they'll see that, they'll want to then help people. And I would definitely suggest, like, I know that you're in Heather's challenge group, but I would almost want you to do your own challenge group and you will see that you'll then be motivated to get more people and help more people. And you'll really see flourishment in it. It's been one of the best things I know. And you don't have to leave Heather's group. I'm still in Heather's group. But if you do like maybe 1 month of a challenge group on your own, I really think that you will see that number one, you're able to really zone in on your own people, and then it's going to push you harder to get more people into your challenge group. So that's one thing I would suggest to you for that. And then have you had success as a coach? I have people on my follow-up list that have reached out. Yeah. So this is really funny too. So Heather says, I have people on my follow-up list that I've reached out to for 3 years. I have actually heard that in many, many trainings. So, you know, that's why it's so important too, to keep going with your Instagram stories and your posts, because there are people that will be following you for 2-3 years and then finally want to join you. So in these trainings, these coaches have been in it for a while and they were like, I have people reaching out to me 2 years later, like, hey, I've been following you and I want to join you. I followed Heather for almost a whole year. And then I reached out to her like, hey, I'd like to have coffee with you. And she's like, okay. She had no idea who I was. And I have been watching her for a whole year. And in that time is when she had something happen in her business that almost made her quit. But I never knew that. I would see Heather working out, showing up, and staying on track. And then I came to her and I was like, hey, you want to have coffee? And she's like, okay. And now look, we are building an empire. So keep that in mind when you don't know who's watching you, and you may think it's silly to post in your stories, or may think it's silly to, you know, make a post or reach out to people, but you don't know who needs this, and you don't know who your next rock star is going to be or who's going to build an empire with you. So I think that's it. I'm done talking.
Loved it. Thank you, Hannah.
Welcome.
I want to touch on a couple of things you said that struck me that I just want to pinpoint. Especially like the fact of like the business owner. I think anytime I start to get like lax or like, you know, unmotivated or like, I don't really feel like doing this, I always go back to that. Like if I were to have a brick and mortar like business, if I were to have a yoga studio, say, I couldn't just say like, I don't really feel like showing up today or I have a busy day. I'm just going to not be there, you know? Or yeah, if there's not a lot of people coming into my store, so I'm just going to shut down for the day. Like it doesn't work like that. So if you think like, if you treat your business just like you have an actual like business that you show up at, you 100% will be more successful, because it's so easy for us when we don't have a huge investment in this. It's awesome that we don't have a huge investment, but at the same time, you don't invest quite as much as of yourself, and you're like, oh, you know, it's just my side thing. It's just a thing I do on the side when I feel like it. Then you're always going to have a side thing that just happens when it feels like it. But if you literally think of your business as the business that it can be, and the success that you can have, then 100% you can have it. So it's something I have to go back to on a regular basis and just say, hey, if you had a business that you had to show up at, you show up. So show up for yourself today. And the other thing, when she was saying just don't stop, like you're going to have these things that are going to come up against, and you're going to have, you know, days when it feels like everything just like crumbled. You're going to have people, you know, fall off. You're going to have people cancel. You're going to have people say no to you, like for a week straight. You're not going to have anybody say, you know, yes, or you're going to be ghosted by everybody that you talk to. There's going to be those things that happen. There's still those days that happen, those weeks that happen to me, you know, 3.5 years in. But something that I listened to as a brand new coach, it was a YouTube video, like Hannah was saying. I was listening to a YouTube video, and it was Bonnie Engel, and it was just like the most simplest thing, and it has literally been something that I've kept with since the very beginning, is just don't stop. Like she said, there will be times when there's going to be things that you're going to feel like everything's like falling apart and you can't do this anymore. Don't stop. And there's been so many times in my business that I've come against, like up against that wall, or everything fell apart, and you know, it seemed like I would never come up from it again. And that same, like just those few words from Bonnie Engel, just same thing, just don't stop, just keep going. And because of that, that's the only reason that I'm still here. So if I hadn't listened to that training like way back then and realized like there will be times that I'm going to come up against, you know, a struggle, and just keep going, I probably would quit, especially the time that like everything crumbled, like the day that it literally felt like my business was gone. But like Hannah said, then just a few months later, you know, everything completely rebuilt, and you know, we have a rocking team. And sometimes that just has to happen. Like it's happened with April. April's entire team completely crumbled, you know, in 2017, and she lost almost everybody. And she had to build like from the bottom up. And so these kinds of things can happen, but you just have to know like what your why has to be big enough to be like, I don't care what's happening around me. I don't care if like my entire team, whatever, decided to go somewhere else. I still have this drive. I know I'm supposed to be here, and I'm going to keep going. So if I hadn't kept going, like she said, we wouldn't be on this call, which is just insane. I wouldn't have like the best friends that I have right now. So just keep going. Just do not stop no matter what, and have that freaking drive, because that is what's going to drive you to that amazing success that is definitely on the road you're on. So Hannah, thank you so much for the fire, girl.
You're welcome.
And I don't think I ever said that. I said, oops, Hannah watched me for a year and I never noticed her in my stories, never reached out. Don't do that. Reach out to everybody watching you. Sorry, Hannah.
So rude.
When is this girl going to see me?
No, I don't think I wanted you to see me. I was
you were a silent watcher. You never ever commented anything.
You were April's silent watcher as well, which is so funny.
I was for all year. Yep. All right, girls. Well, if you don't have anything else for Hannah, anybody have any questions or comments or anything? No. Congrats, Kristen, on the Emerald. That's exciting.
And hitting Success Club, which is huge. That's so good. So proud of you. And we're getting our bags. So excited.
And getting the swag.
We're getting our shirts and our bags. So happy.
I'm gonna stop the recording and then we need to take a picture. Thanks for watching the recording, guys.